Due to technical reasons, we're redoing our previous vlogs, so we're going to go through so many weeks of work. How many weeks?
It'll be 5 weeks of work.
5 weeks of work in order.
From the work in progress presentations. So
starting from
week 7.
Here we go. Adam, week 7.
Okay, week 7. So week 7, I finished off the fat security guard, re-topped him, unwrapped him and textured him, and got that low poly. And then we also went into the mocap lab and took motion capture data for all of the characters for in the game, which was acted out by Ola. And yeah, that's what I did that week. Christian?
Yeah, from the week before, week 6, me and Matt had finished the art gallery. We moved on to doing the museum. It was supposedly Rick's, he was supposed to do museum assets, but I kind of helped him out with it as well. So, and yeah, we had that mostly done this week, and we hope to get it finished by, we hope to get it finished by the end of the week. Rick?
Week 7, I finished off some museum assets with some help from Christian, and started on working on the bank assets. I spent a day trying to model a mammoth as like a centerpiece for the level, but in the end it didn't look as good as I thought it would do, and we went with a T-Rex instead.
Which Matthew modelled.
And I acted in the motion capture, and that was me for week 7.
Week 7 for me, helping out, doing a couple of museum assets, and then just building it. Christian sat down with me and helped me meticulously place every museum piece.
Which he needs. He needs guidance. Young one from Qui-Gon.
And art gallery finished. Yeah, that's it. On scripting. Scripting in the museum. Some special little secrets that you can collect and it opens things up. But I don't want to tell you what it is.
So, week 8 then.
Week 8.
For me, week 8 was starting to sculpt up the third character, the skinny security guard. I took a little bit of a sidestep from doing that to get all the animations of the main character sorted out. We needed to get that in game, and we needed to get it tested just to see if it was working and how the animations were. So I only did a little bit of work on the third character, and I mainly spent that rigging, skinning, animating, and getting some help off the tutors, just breaking up all the animations to put them in the engine. And yeah, that was pretty much all I concentrated on for week 8.
Yeah, week 8, we was on to our final level, which was based off, which was in 3 parts: the front, middle, and back bank. We kind of concentrated on getting the front and middle one sorted, so doing assets for them, which me and Matt put together. And then I was looking into the actual loadout of the level, so mapping and how we go about actually putting the level across on the game with a top-down view, and then that was about it really for me. Rick?
This week I worked on bank assets, so I modelled some for the second bank stage and started working on the third bank stage. So I did the vault and what was inside the vault pretty much this week, and I got in touch with Matt Sim, so I've been emailing him. We got some sound effects through which we will use in the game, and we've been given some music files which he's going to work on again, so hopefully by next week we should have some final music. And that was me this week.
Finished the museum with all the little scripting and the goodies and the asset placing and the lights, etc. I made like 3 assets for the bank, but then just sat with Christian again, positioning all these little assets that have been made, making sure they all work and they're playable and usable and all the level design and stuff.
He also implemented the character, the security guards in. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, the security guard walking around the bank bit, making it. I don't know, I didn't really do. I just grabbed Adam's animation and scripted it to walk. Animated it to walk.
As a placeholder, we can say. Placeholders. That's what we like to say.
Week 9.
Week 9. So yeah, kind of in conjunction with the previous week and Matt getting the security guard in, I rigged, skinned and animated him for that purpose over the weekend, and then obviously got him animated walking around, as well as the main character being in there. And then I carried on working on the third character, the skinny security guard. Obviously having to do the animations in between all of this, my time plan got a little bit mixed up. So that character at that point still wasn't quite, the third one wasn't quite finished, but we had the 2 kind of working in engine. But yeah, so again, that week, just more carrying on, tweaking the animations, and doing bits of work on the skinny security guard.
Carried on work with the bank. We had to went into the vault stage. Just did a couple of assets for the final one. Rick had most of them. Helped Matt put it all together, and then started actually designing more again level loadouts, showing you where things are on the map and stuff like that. And then I've been planning out how I'm going to put the comic together, telling the story of, well, the backstory of the game. And that's me.
Week 9, finished off assets for the bank, and while Matt was building it up, just made any little tweaks to the assets and made any little bits and pieces that needed going in, so to finish off the bank. And we got our music through this week, which we all like, and so we decided what music was going to what level, and then just doing bits of documentation this week, so like time plan revisions and going over, adding bits to all the documents. I did a future scope document as well, so I started on that for what we could include. Like there are things that are a bit too ambitious for the timeline that we've got. That's me for week 9.
Finished putting the bank jigsaw together, all the asset pieces, scripting some cool little events, some glowing floors, some opening doors.
You also did the menu.
The menu,
Or concepted it.
concepted the idea of the menu, the floor plan, and next week I'll finish the menu so it looks professional, industry standard. Scripting, some more.
Always scripting.
Never stop scripting.
Every
Absolutely.
day
I'm
scripting.
not even a scripter, I just like typing.
You're the only one willing to do it. Okay, so next up was the 2 weeks of the Easter break that we got. So I'll cover those 2 weeks at the same time. Basically, with the first 2 characters done and animated in game, I finished off the third one, retopped, unwrapped, textured, got that rigged and skinned, animated, got that tested out in engine. With the feedback from the alpha test just before Easter, I made some tweaks to the animations so everyone was happier with them. For instance, the lead character Walk looked a little bit like a monkey, which was kind of strange. So I fixed a lot of that, fixed a lot of the mocap data. I then sculpted up the dog, the 4th character, retopped him, unwrapped, textured him, rigged, skinned, animated him, got him in game. So I was quite busy over Easter, making sure to get everything done in this 2 weeks for when we got back. What else? I made a torch. It wasn't the best torch, but just to test out if we were able to get the guards holding the torches in their hands, which works fine in the engine. A little bit more tweaking of the animation. And then the last thing I did of these 2 weeks was start sculpting the lead character in a normal clothes for the first level. So yeah, that was pretty much my 2 weeks.
Like I said, over Easter I was going to get I did the comic, complete comic, gave it to Matt. Matt put it into Unity, animated a camera to make it look a bit snazzy, and voiceovers as well with some amazing actors, which we're considering redoing in a studio, but if we have time, I don't know. Basically, over Easter, it was just putting what the placeholders were, just making them nice and neat, doing all maps for each level, making it all link between each other from main menu to first level, second level, so on. Just basically, it was just designed for me this week, or these 2 weeks. Yeah, that's it.
Over Easter, I spent a lot of time writing out testing documents, which wasn't the most fun way to spend Easter. But I wrote up all the testing and the feedback that we got from the last few days before the break, so we could take that into account. Set up a test plan for when we've implemented all the levels, so we know what we need to test to make sure the game is bug-free before third-party testing. So that took quite a while. Just basically neatening up all the documentation, making sure it's everything's there that we need. Made all the achievements for the game. Christian helped me with a couple of them. So set them into a template so they can just go straight into the game.
We did, however, wanted to include achievements. Matt should tell it in this next one. Sorry, Matt. You probably forget.
Helps Christian with the written content for the comic as well. What else did I do? We talked about the mansion.
No, that's the next week.
Yeah, that was about it then, for me for Easter. Lots of written documentation.
Okay. Achievements, while it's fresh in my mind. Setting up so you can unlock achievements now. You can go and click something and a little achievement pops up, goes ding! And then the achievement unlocks, you go to the achievement screen, and it's a nice little scrollable achievement screen, so it all fits on this little thing, so you can scroll across, unlock that achievement. And you can also reset the stats, so the achievements get wiped and you can start again. So if you want to get all the achievements again for some crazy reason, or if you've put it on I don't know, whatever you want to wipe it for. Menu looks nice and neat. Camera flies around when you press different buttons. There's a nice little credits menu in there as well, where it takes you to all our portfolios. Comic strip for Christian, just animating the camera. Cameo voice acting, doing the background sound so it all merges in nicely. So that's comic strip. Win screen, so when you win the level, it takes you to instead of just level. If you are a winner, then instead of it taking you to a black background that says winner, it takes you to a nice rounded little scene that makes sense.
And just clean up the levels, really. That's
clean
what
up the levels. Animation, making things move around, putting the guards in the scene that Adam made, and the dog that Adam made, make it walk around. The torch that he made the torch work in the scene, so it holds it and walks around it. It looks good. Looks sweet.
Next.
And adding in the sounds that good old Matt Sim gave us, throwing them into levels. fun. That's about it.
So now we're up to this point, which is the end of week 12. So hopefully that's all the vlogs up to date now that we lost. This week I've just been finishing the sculpt of my final character, the lead character in her normal clothes. I've nearly finished retopologizing that, and then within the next day or two, at the very latest by the end of the weekend, she'll be finished, fully animated and in the game. So that will be all my character work done, which means we just need to test everything over and over again, get everything really polished, working really well, and work out how much time we've got to do anything extra that we want to do. But yeah, I think that's me so far this week.
Town map did that. Kind of struggled with it because kind of didn't know how to fit it into the game, but eventually went down like the GTA kind of style. I didn't steal it, but it's kind of the same style. Influenced, yeah. Then I came up with the idea because we have like a kind of we have 5 weeks left really, and 2 of us just sat around doing nothing. So we wanted to do an extra level, and this level now links with the story. So going from finding out that Tommy's been kidnapped, needing a ransom, Jade goes out to a architect's house who has basically built the town and has all the blueprints for every single level, and she has to get the blueprints from the house and carry on with the game. So I basically did some assets for the house and gave them to Matthew to play around with.
You did a nice little drawing.
Yeah.
For a game over screen.
And yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, a game over screen, and I can't remember what else I did. Yeah, just some more drawings really. That's all I'm doing. So, Rick?
I modelled some assets for the mansion this week. Just got them all finished off, given to Bernal to put in the game. More work for him to do. And then me and Christian went through the game, just designing like a structure for how everything fits together. So how much loot is in each level, where it's going to be, how many you need to unlock the next level, just how you get from starting the game to completing the game, but in a structured way. So you have to like earn the unlocks, but so it's not too tedious. And then we made a list of areas we need to check as well. So
before we have user testing next week, so we need to make sure that everything's done. A nice long list of stuff.
And I've made a third party testing criteria as well, ready for when we're at that stage. And that's me this week.
Forgot to mention last week, I spread the Jade Ransom love across the internet, posting on forums and indie databases. Going viral, just trying to get a bit of buzz, trying to get some positive feedback about the work we've done, posting works in progress, and we got quite a bit of positive feedback. Then this week, had put the mansion pieces together, scripted or created a nice little prototype for something that will be we'll add to the gameplay. We'll mix
and we'll
it
talk
up a
about
bit.
Next week.
But it'll be very fun. So yeah, building the mansion and given this to work through.
Mystery paper
that has lots of things for me to do, and that will consume my many hours.
Should have the game all polished off and tested, ready for user testing.
That gives us 3 weeks to tweak.
Yeah. Bye.
Make promo. Bye bye.